Once upon a time, a city girl named Felicity and a city boy named Peter bought an abandoned 1830s farmhouse in New York. And our big project for the last 2 weeks has been racing the last of the nice weather to get her painted before the inclement weather. So it's 32 degrees today, feels like 22. It's cold. That is colder than it should be to paint, but we don't have to worry about that because the painting is done. Boo, 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 boo. So as we start our celebration, I thought it would be helpful to take a look at where we came from. So this is the before shot. This is the headline picture that was in the online listing. And as far as we can tell, this picture was taken either late last fall or early this spring. So this is where we started with the painting project a few weeks ago, and this is where we are now. So if you've been following the channel for the last couple of weeks, you'll know that this has been a multi-week process. Turns out there's an awful lot of fiddly bits. Painting the siding itself was really quick and easy, but doing all the green edging, all the different bits of the porch, the gingerbreading, the spandrel at the top of the house, the railings, all the different porch boards, it just took a really long time to get all the different pieces finished. I think they ran out of green paint more than once. The white sprayer to do the spray painting definitely got clogged up at least one day. So, but she's done. She's absolutely done. She is freaking gorgeous. I absolutely love, love, love this white and green ensemble. Definitely inspired by Anne of Green Gables, and also the green that was already here. The inside of the house has some beautiful green railings and upstairs, and it was a pretty easy choice for us to go with green and white when we were trying to figure out a color. And then if I zoom in, I was a little bit worried that the green paint and the green roof would clash because they're not the same green, but actually they look quite good together. So that is very exciting. So this is what she looks like from the southeast. This is what you would see if you were driving north on the road. That is the south side. That's the side you'd see from the driveway if you pulled in. And then this is this east side that you'll see from the road. And this is the north side. I'm standing on the old well cap, so you can get a look on here. And then let me take you down so you can see the kitchen extension full on. So here she is, the whole north side. This is the kitchen extension here, and then that's the original porch, and that's the mudroom there. This is the side that they had the most finishing work to do when we were here a few days ago. So it's really excited to see it done. West side, this is the side that faces the lake. Doesn't she look gorgeous? Absolutely, absolutely gorgeous. The only thing that I don't love, and it's not the paint, the only thing I don't love is the wiring coming out for the mini splits, but that is just how the mini splits go. There are ways to make it look nicer. Those ways are way outside our budget. We had hoped originally that we would be able to put the piping down the disused chimney, because that's a lovely conduit that's already there, but getting into that chimney from the inside turned out to be way more cost prohibitive than we were able to manage. So we have just gone with the piping on the outside. Again, I don't love the aesthetic, but it's the side you can't see from the road, and it's functional. I mean, that's the price. If that's the price we pay for having air conditioning in the house, I will be happy to pay it. So the last thing I want to show you is the porch itself, because this has taken the vast majority of the painting time, but also I think has the biggest visual impact. And one of the things that had a lot of discussion was the ultimate color of the floorboards. I really like this chocolate brown that we went with. And Peter pointed out that with the white, green, and brown, we basically have white for air, green for the growing things and plants, and then brown for earth, which I really quite like and is a little bit more philosophical than I had been going for. So I just really wanted to show off the porch. I want to show off how great it looks. This is the porch that faces the road here, where you will come in if you were coming in from the mailbox, and then this stretch over here is where we would be coming in from the driveway. So as wildly exciting as the painting is, and it is, oh my gosh, you guys, massively, massively exciting. There have also been updates going on inside. Not a whole lot, because the painting has been taking the majority of the time, but I would be remiss if I didn't bring you along for a couple of quick updates on the electrical wiring that's going on in the basement. And then also we continue to uncover layers of wall coverings upstairs, and I hope you will enjoy both of these short clips. So the other exciting update, and I didn't see this, didn't even know it was down here till Peter said something, we have a brand new electric box. So to remind you, that black thing over there to the left, that's the electric box that was here, or that's where the electric box was, and it had been upgraded, but not well enough, basically. So this is a brand new fancy electric box. We're going to have way more circuits than the house did before because people did shenanigans before and put multiple things in the same circuit, which is not okay. So this is our brand new shiny electric box with all the brand new shiny wires coming into it. It's quite huge. I mean, that thing is like 3 feet tall. The other thing, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. Peter, could you shine the light on the floor? We do have, Peter was just explaining, there is water coming up. This is the only part of the basement that has dirt floors. The dirt floors are damp. That's just water coming up from the ground because there isn't a floor in here, which would explain why all the crap that was in here by the previous owners was all up on pallets. So that was up off the floor. We do have 2 pretty high grade dehumidifiers, one of which is going to be running down here. So once we get that in, that should be fine. We're not really too worried about it because honestly, we hadn't intended to use this room for anything. It's dark. The floor is not finished. And so other than getting into the electric panel when we need to, this room is probably going to be largely unused until we have the funds to finish the floor. There's the old electric box that they took out. You can see it's a great deal smaller. Well, you could see until Peter took the light away. That's the original electric box that was here. And it was new. The box itself was new. But the wiring that was coming into it was half new and half not new. So now we've got a whole new everything. Anything else, Peter, about the basement while we're down here?
Got the new wire.
Oh, yeah, look at all the wires. I'm going to go around your head here. Yeah, you can see all the wires coming in from all the different places into the box. It's like a super highway, like a highway system for cars, but a highway system for electrics instead. And eventually, I suppose if we wanted to put a ceiling in here, all of this would get hidden under a ceiling. But again, we're not really going to use the basement we don't really have any plans to use the basement extensively as living spaces right now. So, and it's within our budget to just tack them up on the beams and call it good. The nice thing about being in here is you can see these big old beams. They are beautiful and chonky, just like the ones that we cut out for the stovepipe upstairs. All right, back out of the creepy room. They've also finished putting in all of the, it's not really ductwork, piping? What do you call the stuff for the mini splits? Lines?
Lines.
We're going to call them lines. They finished putting all the lines in, and they had to bore a new hole in our wall, which is where all this dust has come from. So this particular wall, poor little wall, has so many holes in it. But that's where they go outside to the compressor, which is just outside that window. So the last time I was in the master bedroom, I was so excited to see the mini split installed that I totally missed that there's wallpaper in here under the paint. So they also took the baseboard heat off in here. And this is the color of the walls, which is this really pretty green that we're leaving. But down here, where the registers were on the wall, you can see that there is wallpaper, really pretty wallpaper actually, with kind of a purple underneath it. And it looks like this is where the edge was. So our guess is that they painted the wall green after the baseboard units were installed, because that's why you can see the paint kind of dripping down and gumming up behind them. So there's at least wallpaper under here that they just painted over. I wonder how many layers of this they had to put on to get over that. And then underneath that, we don't know yet. This room actually is in pretty good shape, so we haven't had to figure out what's underneath that thus far. So now that they've taken off all of the radiator heaters from the wall, we can see all the different layers of stuff that is on the wall. So I think this is the oldest, which is like a lath and plaster. And then there's this, which feels like wallpaper, she says questionably. It looks kind of like marble. And then there's this pattern, and then there's the white. So there's at least 3 layers on top of the, I think that's plaster. That doesn't feel like drywall. Peter pointed out that there's actually one more layer of paint. You can see it here a little bit. You see this pink layer here? That is this, we think. which is up here on the wall as well. So there's white, pink, and then these two different layers of wallpaper underneath here. So there's a lot of stuff on these walls. But I don't believe that getting that fixed is required for a certificate of occupancy. So that will probably be a project that we tackle once we're moved in. It is wildly exciting to see the painting finally done. It has been a long process. It was fun to watch the progress, but probably a few days ago I said, you know what, I'm over the thrill of watching the progress and I just want the painting to be done. Partly because we have other things we need to move on to, partly because the weather's gotten cold, and partly because I'm impatient. So this is really satisfying to see this all done. And the only things we have left to do on the outside to seal it are the doors and windows. And then we need to work on the inside stuff, the electric and the plumbing and the kitchen and the bathroom and all of those things. So the list of things that needs to be done is shrinking. We are still hoping that we can get into this house in a month's time. It's December 1st. So we are in what we hope is the last month of repairs. And we'll have to check in with James tomorrow to see where we are in that timeline. So thank you for all of you who've been along for the painting adventure. I hope you're as excited about it as I am, and I will see you soon in my next video. Bye for now.